Welcome everyone to the 2011 ASAIHL Leadership Summit. Thank you so much for your gracious time and energy to fly such a long distance to Niagara Falls, New York. It is my pleasure to introduce you to Mayor Paul Dyster, Mayor of the City of Niagara Falls. He has an extensive background in international relations. Mayor Dyster, he will be doing a proclamation.
Thank you very much and welcome to the City of Niagara Falls. It is one of the great honors that I have as Mayor of the City of Niagara Falls each year to welcome millions of visitors to our city from all around the world. And that's particularly gratifying for me because, as Mary said, in the first half of my career I worked in the field of international relations. I'm from here originally. I thought I wanted to go to law school. Instead I went to graduate school and received my Ph.D. in International Relations and Law from Johns Hopkins University in Baltimore, Maryland. I stayed around the Washington, D.C. area and eventually became Director of the International Affairs Program at Catholic University of America in Washington, D.C. During the time that I served at Catholic University, I was Director of a program that the university ran inside the Pentagon, the headquarters of the U.S. Department of Defense. That reached out not only to American military officers, but to visiting officers from foreign countries. I also had the opportunity to take a leave of absence. I went to the U.S. State Department and was honored to serve on the U.S. delegation to the nuclear and space talks with the then Soviet Union in Geneva, Switzerland. So I know the importance of people from different countries coming together to discuss their common interests in a better future for all of mankind. And I very, very much welcome you here to Niagara Falls. I hope and trust that you'll have a very, very productive conference. And now to get the conference underway, I have a proclamation on behalf of the City of Niagara Falls. Whereas the Association of Southeast Asian Institutions of Higher Learning was founded in 1956 as a non-governmental organization at a meeting in Bangkok to the heads of 8 state universities in Southeast Asia, and whereas the 2011 Global Education Leadership Summit will be hosted by Keuka College, will take place June 19th through 22nd at the Conference Center of Niagara in Niagara Falls, New York, and whereas this conference, which marks the 55th anniversary, will convene to explore and discuss the modern challenges impacting the future and governance of global higher education. And whereas the theme of the 2011 gathering will focus on capacity building partnerships for enhancing education and research excellence. And whereas this conference is designed to encourage and construct vital communications links between educational institutions across all cultures in order to enhance learning and cultural exchange. Now, therefore, I, Paul A. Dyster, Mayor of the City of Niagara Falls, do hereby welcome the Summer 2011 Conference to our city, and I value the opportunity to join the participants of the 55th annual gathering of this most distinguished international organization, given under my hand and the seal of the City of Niagara Falls this 20th day of June, 2011.
Honorable Dr. Paul A. Dyster, Dr. Joseph Burke, Brother Dr. Narciso Erguiza Jr., the Honorable Tansi Professor Dr. Said Jaludin, the President Rick Regan of the American Association Governing Board, United States, and Dr. Chunpan Papa, the founding president of the Association of Governing Board in Thailand, Professor Dr. Idus Rusi, representing all the state university, the council rector of Indonesia, and Professor Dr. Pasasukha, Chairman and President of the Council of University President of Thailand, distinguished speaker, participants, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to thank the Honorable Dr. Paul A. Dyster for welcoming all of us to this beautiful city of Niagara Falls and reading the proclamation to us. We are also very grateful to Dr. Joseph Burke, President of Keuka College, hosting the summer 2011 ASAIHL conference on enhancing academic partnership for education and research in the international arena. During the next 3 days to commemorate the 55th anniversary of the founding of the Association of Southeast Asian Institutions of Higher Learning. For those of you who start attending this meeting for the first time, we started in 1954 when 8 university presidents had a cup of coffee at the oldest hotel in Bangkok. 1955, they had another cup of coffee. In January 1956, we have the association with 8 universities in the region. And from the very beginning in the 50s, we are the only association, so most of the universities have to attend ASAIHL conference for the last 55 years, and we are very grateful that people ask, why do we have the meeting so far away from Southeast Asia? And this will be a good opportunity for us to meet and start the cooperation. We have people coming from France, from the Netherlands, from Europe, Asia, and North America, and Canada, and this will be a good network working for all of us. And I want to thank the organizing committee for choosing the theme of the 2011 ASAIHL Leadership Summit on enhancing academic partnership, establishing a dynamic platform for university leaders from Asia and North America to discuss academic collaboration to inspire innovation through research and to find new ways of enhancing the teaching and learning experience. The focus of the 4 sub-themes include emerging importance and roles of partnership in enhancing higher education, innovative process for the planning and creating higher education partnership, partnership assessment and quality assurance, and lastly, the role of government, business, professional association in higher education partnership. This will provide us with a good opportunity to examine how linkages and partnership between institutions can be mutually beneficial in transforming higher education. The 2011 ASAIHL Global Leadership Summit brings together governing board chairs, university rectors, vice chancellor, president, including deans, academic leaders in Asia and the United States, Canada, Europe, to discuss the role of university in close collaboration with industries to meet the needs of the business community. University must consider the value industry global workplace requirements and engage with business to redefine and direct work-based learning criteria to our students in order to help industry survive the recession and strategize for long-term sustainability and success for the ever-evolving demands and workforce skills necessary for the 21st century. The success of faculty commitment to experiential education has emerged as a global model and critical to the success in supporting experiential learning practices and promote the development of lifelong learning and career skills that students use to transform the experience into knowledge. Keuka College received the award from the National Society for Experiential Education in recognition of the successful promotion of experiential learning across the curriculum through co-curricular activities in the workplace and in the community. We are optimistic that participants will have a better insight and understanding of the problems and will be able to develop a strategic response to these challenges facing our university and conceptualization of human potentials aligned to our educational vision and mission. Allow me to extend our congratulations to President Joseph Burke and his dedicated team, with special appreciation to Ms. Mary Hall, 2011 ASAIHL Executive Conference Director, the organizing committee, and to the Greater Rochester Asian American Leadership Delegation, and to our corporate sponsor, Elsevier Representative Mark Dumoulin, our keynote speaker, Jeffrey Lemon, founder and chancellor of the Transnational School of Law at Beijing University, who traveled all the way from China. Dr. Milton Corfield, Vice Chancellor of the New York State Board of Regents, Dr. Ann Kress, President of Monroe Community College, and President Rick Ligon, President of the Association of Governing Boards, and Ms. Laura Anglin, President of the Commission on Independent Colleges and University, Dr. Ching Tang, inventor of the OLED technology, Dr. Liver Chen, cardiac transplant surgeon, Felicia Zimmerman, U.S. Olympic fencing team, Mr. Adam Stitkoff, Executive Director of the American Chamber of Commerce in Vietnam, Grace Kelly and her jazz quintet, Jean Tagaban, the rabbit dancer from Alaska, to everyone behind those collective effort and all those who make this conference a successful and rewarding experience. Wish you all the very best for a successful conference. Thank you.
I'm Brother June Erguiza. I'm from De La Salle University, Manila. The last time I was here in the United States, I was doing a renewal program at Santa Fe, New Mexico, and that was some 10 years ago. And since that time, I've not had a chance to be able to get back. And when it was decided last year that we would have the conference here in the US, I was sort of half expecting that I would be coming over, as I was sort of thinking of the long travel that I would have to make all the way from Manila to the US. So I arrived yesterday late afternoon, after going through from Manila, Nagoya, to Detroit, and then Detroit to here, Buffalo. I had a little difficulty at the immigration. They had to send me off to the blue line, or whatever line that was. I didn't know exactly what questions they would ask me there, but anyway, I had to tell the man at the desk that I was coming here. I sort of felt that I was able to convince him that I was really coming here. I said, I'm not going to stay longer than 3 days. I said, after 3 days, I'm going to go back to Manila. So I said, okay, I suppose you let me go. Good morning to all of you. In behalf of ASAIHL, I welcome you to this conference on partnerships to enhance education and research excellence. I also would like to take this chance to thank our host, Keuka College, for the warm reception in this magnificent region of New York. The gush of energy from the Niagara Falls will for sure seep into our systems and provide the impetus and drive to enter into partnerships, to use the occasion to know about each other's institutions, and to explore how and in what form we can partner with each other towards our common pursuit of excellence. We in Asia have no other recourse but to partner, not just among ourselves, but also with universities and laboratories in North America, Latin America, Europe, and the rest of the world. We live in such a small world now. Our students, even while students, crisscross the world, within Asia certainly, but also crossing continental frontiers, most especially to North America and Europe. Our alumni also find themselves at some points in their professional career in various corners of the world. Indeed, we should prepare our students for such a borderless world ahead of them. Our faculty members also engage in partnerships and collaborations, even without institutional prodding or support. It really behooves us, academic leaders, to put in place the organizational structures and to promote an academic culture that is open and ready for the world at large. This way, we can take full advantage of the tremendous potential and opportunities that institutional linkages and collaborations may offer. It goes without saying that we should not partner just for the sake of having a long list of partners for the rest of the world to be able to see. We should know what we want and what we need, and we should look for partners that would help us get to where we want to be. As we have learned from Alice in Wonderland, if we do not know where we are going, then any road will lead us there. Most partnerships start and end as a memorandum of understanding. They never get past the formal signing of some generic motherhood statement on a piece of paper. Paper partnerships really do not count. We should also not enter into partnerships where only one of the partners benefits from the relationships. That would not be partnership. At best, that would be a benevolent partnership where one party agrees to help the other, knowing fully well that it will not be deriving any benefit from the relationship. Usually, these types of one-way partnerships do not last very long. At times, such one-way partnerships are nothing less than exploitation, disguised as a partnership. The naive and innocent university would willingly, and even very excitedly so, would willingly enter into a partnership, not realizing that it would just be exploited by the other. Again, this kind of partnership does not come, and we absolutely should stay away from such arrangements. In our university at De La Salle, we have a marine station where we have access to a fine cove that our marine biology professors rehabilitated with the local folks and is now teeming with corals and fish. We have, in several occasions, turned down offers for partnerships, even with universities in North America and Australia, because, as it turned out, we realized that all our prospective partners wanted was for us to collect specimens and corals for them. Luckily, we were able to wiggle out of the partnerships before any exploitation could occur. We need to be always vigilant, even at the institutional levels. There are equivalents of beasts and pirates. There are partnerships, however, that are truly win-win in nature. Partnerships based on student exchanges that promote intercultural understanding are truly helpful in providing a holistic education to our students. Unfortunately, student exchanges are usually quite expensive, especially for students from the developing world. The cost of travel, medical insurance, accommodation, and living expenses in a foreign country can add up to an exorbitant amount. If we are not careful, we end up providing such opportunities exclusively to the students from wealthier families. And if we come to think about it, these rich students would not need the student exchange programs as much as we do not have the resources to travel on their own. We at De La Salle University have had to put up a fund to provide assistance to deserving students so that they can avail themselves of our student exchange agreements. This is our way of leveling the playing field. Otherwise, only those who already travel a lot are able to take advantage of the holistic education that the student exchanges are meant to promote. Faculty exchanges are also standard partnership schemes. A steady stream of visiting scholars can shake our campuses and contribute to a vibrant intellectual atmosphere. A program for visiting scholars serves to infuse fresh perspectives into our universities. Sending our faculty members to teach in partner universities allow our faculty members to take a break from their usual grind and experience a new country, a new culture, a new academic environment. Usually they come back to their mother unit very much refreshed and would see their work in a more committed and positive perspective. These exchanges are also excellent ways of sealing and strengthening partnerships and of raising the level of our partnerships to include research collaborations and even joint degree programs and various twinning arrangements. We know that institutional partnerships become truly meaningful and effective and productive when there are people-to-people bonds that cross institutional boundaries. Such exchanges give our faculty members an excellent chance of getting to know better their counterparts in partner universities and to build trust and to promote a willing, confident, and free exchange of knowledge and ideas. A bit of warning though, if we are not careful, such exchanges can lead to situations where our faculty members visit a partner university to teach and end up never returning. Or they return to us for a while just to fulfill some bond or contract and then resign and transfer to our partner university. By then, we lose them for good. We have had such occasions of faculty piracy in the past. I guess we can absorb a few of such, but certainly our partnerships should not lead to many such instances of piracy of talent. Like I said, at the institutional level, there are also beasts and pirates. Partnership in research are usually a higher form of partnership that cannot be forced on our faculty members. We can agree as institutions to collaborate in research, but this would not happen just like that. We would usually need to build on trust and exposure to each other's academic cultures before some deep form of research collaboration can happen. But research collaboration, if managed well, can lead to academic excellence that we cannot achieve if we were to work individually and just by ourselves. I will not expound too much on this topic, as I am sure the rest of the conference will do exactly that. At the risk of sounding repetitive, I just would like to insist on the point that at every level and stage of partnership, we need to be strategic, and we must be very clear about what we can offer to our partners and what we hope to receive from the partnerships. Not being clear about this would put us neither here nor there. And we end up wasting resources on partnerships that were meaningless at their inception. There is one form of partnership that we often neglect, which I believe can have even greater impact on the holistic education of our students. We usually equate partnerships with comparative levels of academic and research excellence, and we fall into the trap of only partnering with institutions that are in the same league as us. We often underpin our exchange programs with education, equivalence, and we try to make sure that what our students would learn at the host partner university would be equivalent to what they would have learned if they had stayed home. The extreme would be to require 100% match in terms of course outline and textbooks, and we end up counting the hours and credits and all these minutiae. In most cases, when we do this, we are missing the point. In fact, at least in the case of student exchanges and service learning opportunities for our students, the more different our universities are, and the more different our countries and cultures are, the more there is to learn. And the more profound is the learning experience. We sometimes read about Ivy League students doing their share of helping humanity in some remote village in Africa, or young engineering students from top universities in North America helping out in some irrigation or rural electrification project in Honduras, or building homes in Haiti. Such service learning and community engagement projects are best done through partner universities. Our students come home with a better understanding of their inner selves, of their own culture, and are able to appreciate better what they are gifted with and the privileges they enjoy at home. More importantly, they return home with a far greater understanding of the true world beyond the confines of their home cities, usually touched by how human solidarity can be so powerful, and by the realization that it takes very little individually to make a big difference in the lives of others. I really hope that we can use our positions of leadership in our respective institutions to encourage more of service learning and community engagement among our students. There goes. As university leaders, let us explore various global initiatives and partnerships so that we can make our universities move at the forefront of societal transformation. Let me end, if you don't mind, by promoting, way a little ahead as president of ASAIHL, into November when we have another conference in Thailand, and in April when we will have the conference in Manila that we are hosting at De La Salle University on April 11 and 12. The conference will be part of our celebration of our 100 years of existence in the Philippines. We have designed the conference to address the emerging challenges to university leadership, and we will be inviting speakers and prominent university leaders to give talks about the delicate balance that they do in steering the university in pursuit of its mission, of managing scarce resources and addressing conflicting interests of different stakeholders in the pursuit of distinct university mission, given that indeed the world of our students has become really borderless. Good morning to all of you and welcome.
Good morning. My name is Joe Burke, and as president of Keuka College, I welcome you to the North American continent, to the United States of America, to the state of New York, and to the city of Niagara Falls. As I have the opportunity to travel back and forth to Vietnam and China several times each year to visit our 7 partner schools in Asia, I know how long of a flight you have had. I thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedules to come to visit us in the United States. Keuka College is extremely proud to be your host for this meeting. Several of our board of trustees of our college are attending this conference as well, and will be introducing our speakers, our panelists, etc. I thank them for their support. I would also like to especially thank Keuka College Vice President Gary Smith, our Vice President for our International Affairs, our conference Executive Director Mary Ho, and all of our Keuka College staff for arranging this conference. I would like them all now to please stand and be recognized so you see their faces, and if you have a question during the conference, you can go up to one of these people and ask. Would any of our Keuka staff that are here in the room now please stand and raise your hand? Thank you very much. The reason our ASAIHL Board of Directors decided to host this conference on the North American continent and in the United States was to bring together many representatives from both Asian and the North American academic institutions to specifically talk about partnerships. While we were gathered on the North American continent, we would invite representatives from U.S. national and statewide higher education associations, U.S. business and research institutions, and international and transnational higher education institutions to talk about the purposes and methods to create partnerships within both the U.S. and Asia communities. ASAIHL members would also report on new and effective initiatives to encourage partnerships across the world. You will hear and see many of these people through these next 2 days. The reason we selected Niagara Falls are many. It's a beautiful and unique city that is world famous for the beautiful falls located close by. But more importantly, it's a key entry point between the United States and Canada, our close friends to the north, which is the second largest geographic country in the world, with numerous universities located there in Canada as well. Many US and Canadian students go back and forth across this border for higher education purposes. And both of our two great nations have many universities with multiple partnerships with each other and with other countries of the world, including Asia. There could be no better location that best exemplifies the advantages of international partnerships of all types in contributing to closer business, educational, cultural, ecological, and political cooperation. Mayor, I will come work for your staff shortly. Keuka College was established 122 years ago in 1890 on the shores of Keuka Lake in the Finger Lakes portion of upstate New York. And our college is located about a 2.5-hour drive from here. Our original campus had a farm and a basket weaving factory located on it. Our educational philosophy, which eventually became known as experiential education, was that each student would work on either the farm or in the basket weaving factory during those times when our college was not in session. This allowed the students the dual opportunity to gain work skills and experience in either the farming or factory operations while helping them pay off their college tuition fees. By the late 1930s, we had gotten rid of both the farm and the basket weaving factory. But we created an annual internship requirement whereby our students worked in either a profit or a nonprofit organization every year that they were at our college. In order to create such work opportunities for every student every year, we had to create numerous partnerships with surrounding businesses, municipalities, and nonprofit organizations for our business management, marketing, and pre-law students, with healthcare centers for our nursing, occupational therapy, and social work students, with K through 12 schools in our region for our education and counseling students, with newspapers, TV stations, and advertising agencies for our communications, advertising, and marketing majors, with research centers for our math and science majors, and more recently, with governmental and international agencies, as well as international universities, especially in Asia, for our international relations, international business, and other intercultural academic majors, and a wide variety of other organizations for our numerous other academic majors. The emphasis on experiential education and an annual internship requirement placed us more than 50 years ahead of most other U.S. colleges and universities in this key educational activity. Most U.S. higher educational organizations today did not require internships until the 1990s, and today most still require one internship over a 4-year period. We turn to Asia in view of the vastly increasing U.S.-Asia international trade and other business and other cultural opportunities. Our goal is to become the world leader in experiential education within the next few years. But it is also a goal to create a trans-international educational institution where students can take courses in years in countries like China, in Vietnam, where we currently have partnerships, and soon to be Malaysia, as well as the United States. And it is up to the student where they will take their next year of education seamlessly. A student can start in Malaysia, and depending on their financial resources, as Brother has talked about, they can go to Vietnam or China or the United States and not have to start over again or retake courses. We have some of those institutional frameworks in place today, and will shortly be exchanging students from these countries and these institutions. This conference today provides an excellent opportunity to expand partnerships between the United States and North American universities and universities across Asia. Yet, we must consider this meeting to be only the first step in building these partnerships on a much broader scale. In addition, for this to be a success, everyone attending this meeting over the next 56 hours must take a very active role. Let me give you some examples of what will happen over this next 56 hours. Today at 6 p.m., we will witness the historic signing of a memorandum of agreement between the American Association of Governing Boards and the Thai Association of Governing Boards. This new and noteworthy partnership will do much to assist in the professional development of university governing boards and boards of trustees. You will hear more about this later today. Due to my own association with the Washington-based Council on Independent Colleges, a group comprised of more than 600 American private liberal arts colleges, I've been authorized to approach our ASAIHL Board of Directors with a proposal to assist in the creation of a partnership to offer specialized professional training for new university presidents, similar to what we do with American presidents here in the United States. This training could be offered here in the United States or in Asia, whichever is more desirable for ASAIHL. I will present this proposal later today at our Board of Directors meeting. Tomorrow you will hear from the President of the Commission on Independent Colleges and Universities, which is a New York-based organization representing more than 100 private colleges and university presidents across the state of New York. Several of these schools are represented here today, and many others are also interested in creating partnerships with ASAIHL universities. In addition to the opportunities I have just discussed, at the conference today, we have more than 110 ASAIHL members and almost 30 non-members, most from the United States. We have 70 colleges and universities representing 13 different countries. Some of our North American representatives also represent a consortium which also includes additional universities from South America. So I say again, the key opportunity that we have over these next few days should not be lost. The question then becomes, what can each of us do here during these next few hours which might lead to opportunities for cooperation and partnership in the future? Let me suggest the following 4 specific actions that each of you can take to help. During every break or meal that we have, go up to someone you don't know, especially someone who is not from your own country or your own continent. Introduce yourself and ask that person if you have any special interest in creating a partnership of the type, as Brother said, you would like to create. Tell them what kinds of partnerships you are interested in. That is the second point. Identify your goals. The third, if you both have similar interests, set up some time during this conference and sit down during the time and spend some time discussing the possibility of a conference or of a partnership. And finally, if you don't have the same programs or the same interests with this other person, try to help them connect with another person from your own country or your own continent who might have these similar interests. These 4 steps might help us to advance the cause of partnerships between our 2 continents. Now, before I close, I'm going to try a risky exercise. I'm going to mention some categories of people who are with us today and some possible interests that they have. When I say your category and your interest, I'm going to ask you to stand up, look around, and raise your hand. The rest of the representatives in the room pay very close attention to who stands up for each category and interest. Then you will all see clearly who is looking for very specific kinds of partnerships. Let's see how it goes. All right, we're going to start with our ASAIHL members. If you are an ASAIHL member and you are interested in creating a partnership which will result in faculty exchanges or research, please stand up. ASAIHL members, faculty exchanges, please stand up. Look around, wave your hands. This will wake you up this morning after a long flight. All our American colleagues, North American, look at these people very specifically. And these are the people you want to meet today. Thank you very much. You may be seated. If you are an ASAIHL member and you are interested in creating a partnership that will result in student exchanges, please stand up. Student exchanges. Look around, raise your hand, get your body moving. That's good. Thank you. Please sit up, sit down. If you are an ASAIHL member and you are interested in creating a partnership that will result in the creation of a joint or a dual degree program on your campus or on a North American campus, don't get anxious yet. Please stand up. Please stand up. A dual degree partnership on your campus or on another campus. Raise your hand. You guys already have one back there with us. Okay, raise your hand. Okay, thank you. If you are an ASAIHL member and you're interested in creating a partnership that will result in the creation of professional development opportunities for your faculty, either on your own campus or in the United States, please stand up. Professional development opportunities for your faculty. Okay, thank you. Now, our North American or other non-ASAIHL members, if you are interested in creating a partnership that will result in faculty or research exchanges, please stand up. All right, raise your hand move around. Okay, thank you. If you are a North American or other non-ASAIHL member and you're interested in creating a partnership that will result in student exchanges, please stand up and raise your hand. We've got a lot of potential out here. Thank you. If you're a North American or other non-ASAIHL member and you're interested in creating a partnership that will result in the creation of a joint or a dual degree program on your campus, please stand and raise your hand. Joint or dual. A lot of people out there. Great. Finally, if you're a North American or other non-ASAIHL member and you are interested in creating a partnership that will result in the creation of professional development opportunities for your faculty on these campuses of ASAIHL, please stand. Professional development opportunities for faculty. Okay.
I think you are in all categories. You can talk.
Okay, all right. We're already talking. I hope you found this little exercise of benefit. Again, I thank you for attending this meeting. Please let us or one of our Keuka representatives know if there is anything we at Keuka College can do to make your stay more enjoyable, or if we can assist you in any way. And we thank you again for attending this meeting. Thank you very much.
Good morning, I'm Paul Bradley. I'm a member of the Board of Trustees at Keuka College and the chair of what we call the Committee on Alternative Programs, which oversees our international activities, our programs for adults, and our online programs. And I'm delighted to add my welcome to you for coming here to what we call the Niagara Frontier. And we are in fact in the land of the Iroquois Nation. The Iroquois were a wise group of Native Americans, several tribes that decided instead of fighting, they would cooperate. And in fact, if I could just plant a symbol for us, it's the white eagle, because the Iroquois always felt that if you met under the sign of the white eagle, that friendship would result and there would be shared wisdom. And indeed, it's certainly my hope that we will become even better friends and that wisdom will be shared while we're here. It's my distinct honor this morning to introduce Mr. Max Dumoulin, and he is Director of Marketing in the academic segment of the huge multinational Elsevier BV. It has roots in traditional publishing, and certainly as I think back decades, that was my concept of Elsevier. Now has 7,000 employees in 24 countries and provides world-class innovation tools, especially for scientists and health professionals, to enhance productivity and overall effectiveness. Mr. Dumoulin, who is based in Amsterdam, the Netherlands, has a bachelor's degree from the University of Amsterdam and an MBA from Erasmus University in Rotterdam. And he, this morning, is going to share his thoughts on improving scientific output by improving innovative research management. Please help me in welcoming Max Dumoulin, please.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor, Mr. Chairman, distinguished board members, distinguished delegates. Thank you very much for having me here today. And I'm also very glad that you all made it through customs. I must say that I had some difficulties yesterday, so I'm glad you're all here, and it's great that you all traveled so far for this very exciting conference with a very exciting theme in a very exciting location, how exciting can things be? I'm going to talk to you a little bit about collaboration, of course, and before I do that, I'll tell you a little bit about our company so that some of you who are not that familiar with us will also know what we're about. And now I'm going to try to do this. Yes, it works. Great. Perhaps you've seen this on your tours around the falls, but we are in daredevil country, and the people of, especially the hotel owners of Niagara Falls, were great innovators, and since 1812 they partnered with daredevils to increase their visibility around the world, attract people to come here, make that great journey to Niagara Falls, stay here and be interested in the things that are happening. And one of those great daredevils was the great Farini. He was in a sort of a contest with a great Blondin, another daredevil, and their contest got madder and madder. And one of the things that he did was, as you can see on this picture, he carried a wash tub on the tight road, and even lowered a bucket to get some water and washed some shirts, I believe, in that wash tub, just to impress the people, and it's all above those great falls here, just around the corner. And I think it's great to see the innovations and also daring stuff that people do to attract visibility and to attract people towards their own business and affairs. And that's something that I would like to expand a bit further on. There we go. These are the things that I would like to talk about, just a little bit about our company, then a bit about research itself, and eventually about research management. I think those are the two main things that you're all interested in. I'm sorry, I'm not going to talk a lot about students and education. We are a research company, research facilitating company, and that will also be the topic of my speech. So the first thing that I would like to talk about is our company itself, and as has been said before, we have quite a history in publishing. Of course, the first Elsevier was founded in 1580 by Louis Elsevier. It was not the Elsevier that you know today. The imprint was picked up by Herman Roberts in 1880. So the company itself is not from the 17th century, as some people say, but it tries to have the same look at research and the same innovative approach to publishing that also was the approach of the Elseviers in the 17th century. And they were publishers to the great names of the time, like Galilei Galilei, Descartes, and also Hugo Grotius, the famous innovator of international law and maritime law. And one of those innovations that the Elseviers did was they went to Italy when Galileo Galilei was not allowed to publish anything. He was he had house arrest, by orders of the Pope, and he was not allowed to publish or do anything. But the Elseviers went to visit him and signed a contract for him, and they published the Dimostrazioni that you see here on this picture, which is one of the most famous of the first books on physics ever published. And I think that's something that is a great achievement, and it's something that we, as a company, would still like to do: be innovative and international in our approach to advanced science. Nowadays, we publish in many different areas. As you can see, Elsevier has about 26% of the world's publication share in the world, and many different subjects that we publish in. As you're probably aware of, publishing is not something, it doesn't really resemble just putting something on a website. It actually is about, there's a great many things that need to be done before journals are published. And these are just some of the things that we do. We have many articles, 500,000 referees who reject more than 60% of all articles. Then we have all these editors, which will eventually then result in about 10 million researchers around the world in more than 180 countries who use our materials and download per year over 500 million articles to their computers to read. And this is now on the platform Science Direct, where we have between 10 and 11 articles available for you at this moment. Besides Science Direct, we have many other brands, and some of them you probably recognize. They're on this picture. Of course, all of them now are online platforms. It's all, of course, online. We still have print available for every journal that we publish, but that's something that universities use less and less, because it's all about online these days, as you're probably aware of. Now, on to our 21st century strategy, because it started all with the researchers, just like I said, and it's important that they can conduct research, they can publish their results for other researchers to see, but it's equally important that they get nowadays that they make the best use of the internet available. So we create innovative work tools based on new platforms to improve the workflow of the researcher. And the next step is something that we talk about today, and that's what we're all interested in: new tools for research managers, for university managers such as yourself, to improve the university, to improve your impact and your productivity, and also to find collaborators worldwide to do that with. Enough about us. I'll talk a bit about research itself and about what we like to do together with researchers and the stuff that's possible there. Research and management, they're two different things, although I must say, of course, one of the most important things that everybody wants in universities is attract the best people. And to attract the best people, you need two things. You need great tools. You must make sure that the people who come to your university have all the tools available to do their research properly. And that's, of course, tools and an environment where researchers can flourish. Then on top of that, you need to do some management, of course. You need to manage quality. You must help researchers acquire funding, very important these days, increasingly important, I would even say. Stimulate collaboration. I think that's a very good initiative that you have this week here. And also, lastly, and very important, connect to business, to make sure that our economies profit of all these great things that we do in the universities together. At Elsevier, we have tried to create a research landscape basically, this is a thing that we are developing right now for early career researchers. They have distinctive needs that need to be served, and what we are trying to do is plot our products around those needs. So search and discovery is, of course, very important to conduct research, writing and publishing as well. but increasingly funding and career planning and networking and building your name, presenting yourself as a brand, and make sure that you are correctly displayed in all the databases is an increasing increasing importance to researchers, and early career researchers need to be aware of this. Following this, we created a new platform, the Cyber Suite, where our ScienceDirect platform and also our Scopus database are integrated, and we allow people now to create their own applications on this platform through open APIs to really basically create the buttons on the platform themselves. This is very great also for collaboration because people of several different disciplines can now better cooperate through those applications. This is I think a very exciting development which is now taking place, and a good innovation, I think. Another innovation is is in the area of workflow tools. This is just an example, Reaxys. It's for chemists, and it's so successful that because of innovations in both content and the interface, that it's now used by all top chemistry faculties and companies worldwide. So the top 20 in chemistry faculties and research outfits of companies use this tool because it saves them a lot of time and money. A search that would normally take days now only will take a few minutes, and that's incredible. All this, and that's something that I also would like to tell you about, would not be possible without the great libraries in the great university institutes. Please read this report from the Research Information Network in the UK, and it will tell you that libraries are very important to improve research quality and also to be of assistance in the funding acquisition process, an increasingly important process within a university. So please have a look at this website where this report is. I think it's a very interesting read. Another fascinating report was written by people just not that far from here, the University of Illinois, who also did a calculation on how important the library is in this funding acquisition process. And they found that for every $4 of funds awarded to that university, there was $1 invested in the library. I think it's a great achievement that they managed to also calculate this, but also of the library, that they were so valuable in this process. Unfortunately, libraries are still quite underfunded, and only 2% of general on average of a university budget goes to libraries, and I'm afraid it's even decreasing. Although the production in the world grows very much, and I think that's a shame that those libraries are suffering, although they are so important within universities. Next, research management, that's what you've all come for, and I'll quickly go back to those objectives. So the important stuff is manage quality, acquire funding, stimulate collaboration, and connect to business. As we look at this picture where we see the production of the Southeast Asian countries in terms of peer-reviewed papers, this is by Shimago in Spain, then we see that the countries of Southeast Asia are very productive. China has really marched up the chart, and also India, of course. And I think it's a great achievement of these countries that they have done this so quickly and so convincingly. Of course, there are also some things on this chart that you could say, well, there's also some room for improvement, and that's mainly in terms of impact and of the number of citations that these publications attract. So that's also where we should look at, focus our attention on for improvement. And there are two ways of doing this. One is, of course, measure and manage. So make sure you have the best people, reward them for good practice, and make sure they do better and better, train them well, and so forth. Good management practices. But another one, and I think that's why the theme of this conference is so well chosen, is to increase the international collaboration. There is a report from the Royal Society that I have with me, and you can look into. It's also on the web, the Royal Society in London, and they have found that the more people from different countries collaborate on a paper, the more citations, the more impact this paper will have. And it's almost a golden rule. So the more people that you work with in your research, the more impact it will have, the more visibility it will create for your university. And I think that's one of the most important objectives that we have as university. So collaboration really pays off, so to speak. So what can we do to help you improve that collaboration? Well, we work with governments and worldwide to make sure that the assessment of all these things is properly. You can see, for example, that Royal Society report that we do in the UK, but also, like, for example, the Australian government. We work with them on their assessment practice. Also, the European Research Council is a partner of ours in looking at research and the impact that research can have. This also is the same for rankings, although I must say the rankings, although they are very interesting and very important, are not great tools to improve your research. They are more the final result that your PR department, of course, really likes to look at and you know, tell you, Chancellor, it's great, we've moved up a spot, but it's not something that you can use for management. Fortunately, there are great innovations in research management tools, and I'll just quickly show you a couple of those tools just for your entertainment and benefit, and see if they could be interesting for your university as well. All these tools are based on Scopus. Scopus is our abstract and citation database. It's by far the largest in the world of its kind. It's used by almost all the top universities in the world, and what's also, I think, very interesting for this audience is that it's so increasingly popular because of its coverage in Asia. In fact, that's why apparently the Massachusetts Institute of Technology this year chose to have a contract with Scopus, because they see Scopus as their window on Asia. So I think that's an interesting characteristic of this database. Of course, this database works very well with local research information systems that you may have. There are several around: Symplectic, Pure, Vidas, Metis. These are very basic tools to measure your outcome and productivity. And through APIs, Scopus works very well with these tools, and very easily, I may say. Now, a step further is our new product suite that I'll very gently touch upon, not that much, not go into depth, but just to show you a little bit on what's possible and what kind of stuff is available for you to use in your university. These tools are really circling around a few themes, and one of it is identify and build research strengths. I think that's a very important thing. You cannot be the best at everything that you do, so you must really make sure and identify your strengths and focus your scarce resources on those strengths. Then you must acquire research funding, because you cannot do it alone. And of course then, once you've done all this, make sure that you grow, and make sure your national and international prestige will grow along with you as well. So in other words, increase your visibility. Well, for this conference, the most appropriate tool to do this is ASAIHL Spotlight. What this product does in very simple terms is basically it identifies your strengths. It looks at who within your institute is publishing in these fields that are your strengths, and From that you can also see who in other institutes is publishing in these strengths. You can see, of course, with whom you're collaborating and with whom you're not collaborating. So these things are very interesting to have a really in-depth look at your interdisciplinary strengths and see where the opportunities for collaboration are. So not that I want to partner with this institute. No, you can really look in depth, the researcher's level, who you want to partner with and who you need to call to discuss a new research project. So I think this is a very interesting tool, especially for strategic research management within the university. Then ASAIHL funding. This is a great database because it gives you the funding opportunities, all the American ones, the Canadian ones, and very soon the British and European Union funding opportunities. Most of them are, well, let's say about 50-50. It's about 50% is for the own regional institutions and researchers, but the other 50% is very often worldwide. So Asian universities are very welcome to apply and also stand a good chance of getting those funds. So I think a great database for everybody to use. Next is ASAIHL Expert. This allows people to better collaborate also and also find businesses. What it does, it makes a fingerprint of the research that a researcher has done. So it's a unique fingerprint of all the papers that have been written by a researcher. After this, you have a database of what everybody has done, and this will create opportunities for someone who is looking for an expert in a certain field. They can copy and paste even a question into this product, and out pop the most appropriate researchers in this field. And I think it's also a great opportunity for people to meet, not just institutions at a high level, but researchers who really are interested in the same kind of stuff. And I think that's another innovation that we see coming now that could be very interesting in this collaboration opportunity finding that we're all engaged in. Yes. Once we have found these people, we of course, being managers and MBAs and what are we want to manage this, and therefore we have created a tool that's called Strata, and it gives you the opportunity to benchmark, because that's something that we all love to do, don't you? You can really see, okay, how popular, how productive is a team, is a researcher compared to other teams, make scenario analysis, so do really all the great stuff that the great MBA institutions in our countries teach us. So that's the management of the process after you have found these people that you would like to work with. So these are just some tools that I would like to share with you. Of course, I'll be here during the conference, and there's always opportunity for you to ask about these things and discuss these things, because also we would like to partner with you on these on this exciting business of finding collaborators for our research. So I've created a checklist, a bit like we've just heard now, but it's you don't have to stand up, it's all right, you can just stay seated. But there's some questions on there that you would really, I think, need to ask yourself. Do you want to improve your university's impact and reputation? I think you can all say yes to that. Or do you know your research strengths? Some do, some don't, but that's something that you would like to consider. Do you know your top talent? Most of you think you do, but sometimes you might be surprised. And you may not know that your talent 10 years from now, and maybe it's already there. Do you know external talents in your strength areas? It's even more difficult. Would you like to increase internal and external collaboration? Of course you do, otherwise you wouldn't be here. Do you want to increase your visibility? Do you want to increase your funding? Well, don't we all? Have you got the right tools for your demanding top talent? Are you making sure that they have the right stuff to work with? I think these questions are all very important, and I think you should really consider asking yourself these questions, maybe every day, maybe not, maybe every month or year, But I think it's very important to do this exercise now and then. But if you are interested in these things, please think about investing in research information. It's really important, and it's increasingly the core of our great universities. So I leave you with this message. The great Farini that we saw in the beginning, he was great. He was a great businessman, but in the end, the name of the great Blondin is the one that most people remember, because he was the true innovator. He was the one who was the first one to carry stuff up this tight rope. And one of the things that he most memorably carried up this tight rope was his manager. So if you think that your researchers should reward you for anything, be very kind to them, and they might take you along on one of their enterprises, and you'll be surprised what you learn and what they could do for you. I thank you very much, and I really welcome meeting you all during this conference. Thank you very much.